Ladies, gentlemen, and everyone in between, this is just a short video that I want to make because, frankly, I am angry, I am frustrated, and I am frankly pissed off. Not because someone has done me wrong, and not because they've made a mistake, a grave mistake, or nothing like that, no. It's just the fact that absolutely no one I know of has even heard of Severance. Despite the amounts of promotion that has been done by Apple online, simply no one I know of, I'm not even kidding, no one I know of even has heard of or seen the show. And that is a shame, because Severance is one of the best shows that I've watched. Now, don't get me wrong, I love a whole ton of shows, but a lot of them are sci-fi or just the genre that most people wouldn't be interested in. But Severance is one of those shows that I really love, that I feel like everyone should be watching. Like, you look at the shows that I usually like. I like For All Mankind, and I like The Expanse, and both of those shows are like sci-fi that I understand why most Singaporeans wouldn't watch, because most Singaporeans aren't really interested in sci-fi. But Severance is like, while it is technically kinda still sci-fi, it touches on something that relates to far more people than the previous sci-fi shows that I've just mentioned. Now, for those of you who have no idea what Severance is, it's basically this TV show that's like a psychological sci-fi thriller whereby like employees at a mega corporation called Lumen can undergo a treatment known as severance. Now, what severance does is that it basically allows a person to go through a medical procedure that splits their mind into two consciousness. One that is only active during work and one that's only active after work hours. Now, one benefit of this procedure is that the worker or the employee just doesn't have to ever see the inside of an office. Basically how it works is that when they walk into the office, their brain shuts off. And the next time it's turned back on, it's the end of the workday and they're leaving the office. So they never have to see the inside of an office ever again, and they can just enjoy life. The problem is that not only will this procedure cause you to like only spend your waking hours like after work or like during the weekends, but there will also be the second you, the other version of you, also known in the show as the innie, that is always just going to be spent at work. They would have never seen the outside of an office, they would have never seen the sun, they would have never seen the sky, they wouldn't even know where they are, they don't even know where they live or who they are outside of the work.
So I'll never leave here.
You'll leave at 5. Well, actually, they stagger our exit, so 5:15. But it won't feel like it, not to this version of you anyway.
Do you have a family?
You'll never know.
All they will know is their computer and what they do in the severed offices. All while the original employee, also known as the Audi, gets to enjoy most of the benefits. So basically throughout the whole show, you see a bunch of severed workers as well as their Audis try to figure out what's going on with Lumen, because the more time goes on, the more things seem suspicious with this mega corporation, and slowly the truth unravels as to what this company is really trying to do with all these severance procedures. And it is frankly scary and also very interesting. Like, this show really just dives into just how sinister and just how like bleak and tiring and just mentally exhausting the office environment can really be, while also showing just how much control and how much power a company of a sufficient size can really have over their employees and their lives.
All I can be is sorry, and that is all I am.
Again.
Really?
And not only that, just slowly learning and unraveling what the company is doing is like and I just slowly learning about the lore and what they do is just something that I absolutely crave, because it's lore. I absolutely love that kind of stuff, to slowly learn bit by bit what's going on and just having to imagine all the different possibilities. Like, it's just so, the world just feels so rich. And it's not just about the company, the people as well. All of the characters that are present in the show, like all the main characters that participate in the story, are all well written. There isn't a case where like one character is just like the comedic like write-off, or like one character is just meant to be the one that gets killed in action or whatever. No, every character that gets to that plays a part in the main story is really well made. Like none of this like they all feel like real people that you could meet out there instead of, again, just some throwaway character. They all have a genuine purpose in the story, and it really feels that way. Like, yeah, technically we still kind of have the comedic character. Like in this case it will be Dylan, one of the main 4 workers in the Severed offices that we see.
Upon request, I can also perform a hug.
You know, I've been exhibiting signs of sadness. Could I get one of those?
No.
But even then, his character has so much deeper meaning in how... Okay, I can't really describe this without spoiling stuff, but he basically plays a very important role at trying to help help everyone else just figure out what's going on, and he ends up being a very key factor in the whole story. Again, I won't say what it is, you just have to find out on your own, but he really plays an important role, and this show also doesn't shy away from trying to test the limits of the whole Severance procedure that it plays off of. There are some parts of the show where they show how Severance can be used as a means of allowing a person to not have to feel the pain of childbirth. And it's just such a simple concept that could very easily be utilized, or I guess you could say abused, and it's just so fascinating. And really all I can say is that you have to watch the show for yourself to really get the idea of just how amazingly well written it is. For season 1, it doesn't really feel like an episode that feels very slow or very fast. Like, I feel like season 1 was very well paced throughout. Like, there's no one moment where, oh, this episode feels like a filler, or like, oh, this episode has too much stuff going on. No. It slowly ramps its way up to the finale, which obviously will make sense. But there's been so many cases where a lot of shows kind of miss the mark on this. Like, we all know some shows that have like the filler episode, or oh, nothing's going on or whatever. And I feel like Severance, at least in season 1, is able to get that pacing just right. Slowly introducing the law until everything suddenly begins to not quite fall in place, but the picture starts to like have some substance by the end of season 1 and sets up what will happen in season 2. Now, season 2, I feel like there was one episode in particular that felt a little bit slow but ramps up all the way at the end. I wouldn't say which one, but when you watch season 2, you'll know what I mean. But even then, I still feel like season 2 was still packed with like a whole lot of stuff. And on top of that, the whole the whole aesthetic and the cinematography is just so intelligent. Like the way the show uses colors to represent certain emotions or certain sides of the coin. Like, for example, red typically is a representation of like love or the Audi personality, while blue tends to be more like related to the mega corporation of Lumen or the Severed Floor and stuff like that. Like, there's just so much packed into it, and also the filming techniques and the way it uses camera perspectives to essentially illustrate certain concepts without you even realizing it is really intelligent. Again, you will have to watch it to really understand this yourself, but let me tell you, if you've already watched the show, please tell everyone else in your sphere to watch it, because it's absolutely amazing. But if you're especially that person who has not watched the show yet, especially for my Singaporean viewers, because let me tell you, there is not enough Singaporeans watching this, you should go and watch it.
Mark W?
Why are you a child?
Because of when I was born.
It's gonna be a leap of faith, I will say, because Severance is a show that I feel will be a little bit polarizing in the sense that you either really love it or really hate it. Like it's either one or the other, there isn't any in between. So it's a leap of faith, but trust me, it is absolutely worth it for what it's worth. Like it is such a well-written show that, and as someone who's trying to get into writing, it is just so well made. Like, the world feels so fleshed out, the characters feel fleshed out, it feels like something that can happen in the real world, and I highly implore you to watch it. Now, but of course I need to also address the elephant in the room. Now, the reason why a lot of people haven't watched the show yet, especially in Singapore, is because of the fact that this show is on Apple TV+. And as you can imagine, most people will be subscribed to Netflix or Disney TV, Disney Plus and all that stuff. But let me tell you, don't let the whole fact that it's from Apple deter you in any way, shape or form, because the sheer level of quality of majority of the Apple TV Plus originals on the platform is amazing. It's honestly so amazing to see how like the shows have quite a equivalent level of quality. Like at most, there's like maybe 1 or 2 shows that are like meh. But I've never seen a show on there that was like straight up like bad or like horrendous. All of the shows have either been meh to absolutely astounding, and I really suggest that if you're gonna watch at one show on Apple TV Plus and then cancel your subscription, Severance is the one I recommend because it's, okay, first of all, it's sci-fi, but at the same time, it still connects to people in a way that is very relatable, and is also an absolutely amazing storyline that I feel like it goes into all sorts of different areas, from psychological horror to romance and drama. Like it doesn't stay in one niche area for too long. It jumps between different storylines so that it doesn't like stay in one area for too long. The story is quite diverse in that sense, which I think will be great because I don't know of a whole lot of people who really love sci-fi. So having a show that is based on a sci-fi concept but dwells into more relatable topics is really beneficial, especially for anyone who watches it who isn't into sci-fi. So please, I can't say this enough, give it a shot. At least just use like maybe the 7-day free trial or whatever, like especially if you've just purchased an Apple product, like just use the Apple TV Plus trial to watch Severance, and trust me, you'll be hooked. Like if you like a show that isn't on Apple TV Plus, that show is probably nothing or doesn't even come close to the quality of Severance. Like Severance, like, and yeah, it's that good. Like it hits every nail on the head. Fully. Not once do they try and like ignore any detail. They really focus on every single detail and making sure that there's a good balance of each genre that they do touch. I'm sorry if this all feels very unscripted because spoiler alert, it is unscripted. I'm just saying everything off the top of my head, but trust me, you won't regret it if you watch Severance. Please just watch it. You will see what I mean. It is amazing. Go watch it. Singaporeans especially, my friends, please go and watch it. For the love of God, please watch it. It is amazing. Thank you, and have a great day ahead. Bye-bye. By the way, if you're really into sci-fi and you're gonna get that Apple TV Plus trial, then also go watch For All Mankind. That show's pretty good too.